Hello there, I'm Yvonne deCelis. I'm an energy healer and Reiki practitioner. I also have a channel on YouTube. It's Y Energy. That is spelled Y, N as in Nancy, E-R-G-Y. I have a lot of how-to videos, how to do energy healing on yourself, Reiki, etc., so that you can help yourself prevent and or stop physical and or psychological ailments. I also do videos on request. Just so you know, I'm going to occasionally need to drink water. I also happen to have multiple sclerosis and fibromyalgia, and to avoid clicking, I'm going to take a quick sip. Pardon what might turn into pseudo-frequent interruptions, because when I'm talking, I get very dry mouth, so I'm sorry if I occasionally have to stop and take a sip of water, but that's what this is. It's just water, so just to let you know. And also, one other thing on that note, one thing that is pretty important, if you're into energy healing, for both the not Reiki practitioner, for both the practitioner and the recipient, energy healing is extremely dehydrating. It can be very dehydrating because you're literally working with your energy, with your body's energy, and it can really lead to dry mouth. On that note, I'm going to do another one. Just very important that you stay hydrated. That's extremely important. It's very easy to get dehydrated without even realizing that it's happening, and that's a very easy way to get sick. So just make sure, if you do get into energy healing at all, please drink a lot of water. Keep yourself as hydrated as possible. If you don't like water, maybe fruit, or Gatorade, or just something with electrolytes, but most importantly, just please keep yourself hydrated. I'd hate to think of anyone passing out just because they just got too dehydrated. So that's one first off thing. Also, I just want to go over really briefly what energy healing is. I realize you've probably heard this by now, but in case you haven't, since I get asked this very frequently, energy healing is an umbrella term. It covers a lot of different modalities, many different healing modalities. And by modalities, I mean healing methods. For example, reflexology, Reiki, acupressure, acupuncture, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. I don't know if that's really considered to be energy healing or not, but I consider it to be holistic and natural, so I think it could fall under the category of energy healing. There's many more. There's the Eden method, there's pranic healing, there's Qigong, and it goes on and on. There's a very long list, but basically with energy healing, what it means is you're using your own energy body, which basically surrounds you. Think of yourself as being in an energy egg or an energy bubble. You're using your own energies to prevent and or cure illnesses, ailments, that sort of thing. Also, one expression you'll hear a lot, you'll hear triple warmer quite often, and you'll also hear the expression fight, flight, or freeze response. They are related. Triple warmer, in your body is something called meridians. There's many meridians. I believe there's 14. I believe it's one big long meridian that's broken up into 14 segments. There are 14 meridian tracings that you can do, and what meridians are energy pathways, basically directing where your energies should go. And meridians connect all of your body's chakras. Chakra is also a term you'll hear quite a bit if you get into Reiki. The most common chakras that people are accustomed to working with are the main 7. There's more than 7 chakras, though. There's, I believe, 114. I know there's over 110. But the main chakras, which I'm going to stand really quickly just to show you where they are. You do not have to stand for yourself, but the chakras start at the genitals. It's the root, then the sacrum, which goes up to the belly button. It's kind of like an upside down triangle shape. And then, so sacrum. And then from the sacrum to up to your pecs is the solar plexus chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye, and crown. Meridians connect all of your chakras. So if you want your chakras to communicate with each other, they communicate through pathways called the meridians. And all that said, I want to go into the 10 to 15 minute daily feel-good energy healing routine, which I learned from Donna Eden. Once again, this is my energy healing Bible. This is not the newest book, and it's also not the newest edition of this one. But if you want to get into energy healing and you want to learn everything there is to know about it, I wholeheartedly recommend getting something by Donna Eden. Once again, I discovered energy healing through her and her husband, David Feinstein, and a Mind Valley Institute, which is an online institute on their website, that's where I discovered Donna and her husband David. As I said, I've since been in touch with them because I wrote something in response to one of her videos, and she got back in touch with me in response to me writing to her. And yes, I was extremely excited hearing from her. It was like hearing from an idol. Pardon me one more second. As you see, I've got these all tabbed. Like I said, I have it set up so that I can find sections fairly easily. I'm not actually going to be referencing this book, but the items I'm going to be doing are seven things you could do. These are daily things you can do, and I am going to do all of them here for you. You don't have to do all of these exercises every day. It is recommended. I've heard it recommended that you do these all every day, but you don't have to do them all. You don't have to do them in the same order that I'm going to do them in. Just do what works for you. One thing that's really nice about energy healing is you're supposed to do what feels right to you. If you feel like you're phoning something in, or you feel like it's uncomfortable, or it just doesn't feel right, or it feels forced, anything like that, you don't need to do it. You're only benefiting from something if it feels right to you. It should feel natural. A lot of the moves you will learn when you're learning energy healing techniques might seem familiar, and that's perfectly normal. The reason for that is because a long, long time ago, way back in the past, our ancestors actually knew this stuff. I believe a lot of the things that you will learn through energy healing is intuitive knowledge. It's just things that we've since shedded because we no longer need it. For example, you don't necessarily have to worry about a tiger who's about to eat you or something. Just as an example, a long time ago, before there were buildings and technology and everything else, all these protections, I think these are things people just instinctively knew how to do to help themselves. Another example, I was explaining an exercise that I learned to my mother. I told her about something that Donna Eden called the traditional Chinese headache points. I'm going to try to turn. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I want you to see what I mean when I say traditional Chinese headache points. The back of your skull, at the very center of the base, there's a pretty large indentation that you can fit about the top half of your knuckle into. So if you press into that, just go out to the sides of it about an inch apart. And again, I hope you can see where I pointed at, but about an inch apart in the back at the base of the skull, there's two little teeny indents that you can press into, and you can really dig pretty hard. Those are called the traditional Chinese headache points. And I showed this to my mother. The nice thing about the traditional headache spots is if you want to prevent a migraine, or if you have a migraine headache, pressing into those spots at the back and the base of your skull, what you want to do is press in and up a little bit. You can also very vigorously massage, not to the point of pain, but to the point of discomfort. If you have a migraine headache, doing this can loosen the headache up. It can actually help cure the headache, and it can also prevent you from getting migraines. I've been doing this every day. I've made it a part of my energy healing toolkit. Sorry for the constant air quotes, but it's part of the energy healing toolkit, which, when I say toolkit, I mean this routine that I'm going to be showing you, this 10 to 15 minute daily feel-good energy healing routine. I've added the headache spots to it because I get headaches a lot, and I've noticed that since I've been doing this every single day, as long as I remember to do it every single day, I don't get migraines. I've maybe woken up into one migraine once in the past 2 months, and I used to get them pretty much weekly. So this has helped me quite a bit. I hope it helps you too. And if it doesn't, I apologize. But once again, energy healing, it's really what feels right to you. It should feel right to you, and you should feel shifts. So I guess before I start off showing you the daily feel-good routine, I guess the first thing I should say is, if you could rate your feelings right now, how you feel right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the absolute best, you feel fantastic, and 10, you just feel awful. Say 1 is wonderful and 10 is just horror. Actually, you know what? Let's reverse this. Let's make it bad to good. Let's say 1 is just at your lowest point ever, and 10 is fabulous. You've never felt that good. Give yourself a rating now. And we're going to go into the energy healing exercises. Before I get started with this, one other thing I did want to mention, I do have this in my introduction to energy healing videos in YouTube, but most important things for you to benefit fully from the energy healing exercises, again, stay hydrated. And breathing, you want to do intentional breathing. You want to breathe in fairly deeply and breathe out long breaths if you can. If at all possible, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. I know not everyone can do that, especially with allergies, things like that. If you can't breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, do whatever feels most comfortable to you. Nasal or oral is fine. You can stick with either or. But the most important thing, when you breathe in, your tongue should be touching the roof of your mouth. When you breathe out, if you want to let it drop, that's fine. If you want to just leave it up at the roof of your mouth, that's fine too. There's many reasons for this, but for our intents and purposes, it's number one, to help prevent dry mouth. Number two, it actually helps to unlock all of the passageways between the chakras. It keeps the chakras communicating with each other pretty much perfectly. Also, it is very de-stressing, or it can help you with stress. It can help to relax you. And I have had people complain to me that they don't like constantly having to focus on the breathing or having to focus on keeping the tongue at the roof of the mouth. I've been told it's a distraction. It's actually supposed to be. It is a distraction, but that is to keep you focused on your breathing. So just, again, with the breath, you want to do an in through the nose with the tongue at the roof of the mouth. If you want to let it drop for the out breath, you can go out. Also, for the out breaths, if you want, you can make a moaning sound, you can sing. I do not. I have heard a lot of trainers who do make audible noises when they breathe out. I've heard it recommended to make an audible sound. I don't do it because it doesn't feel natural to me. What feels natural to me is a whooshing breath, probably from weightlifting. I don't really know, but that's usually what I do. But again, just do what works for you. The most important thing is you don't want to forget to breathe. And you want to stay focused on your breathing to help you focus on your energy body. So anyway, once again, I'm going to this book because I want to make sure I do this in the same order that Donna did in her book. So I'm going to do 7 different exercises. One I'm going to do an alternate of. But the first one is called the Three Thumps. And again, I just want to do this in the same order that she has this in. The Three Thumps are actually very simple. This is another modality of energy healing, which is also called tapping or EFT. EFT, as I learned it from Nick Ortner and the Tapping School, stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And it's literally tapping different spots on your face, on your body. It's acupressure points. So you start off on the cheeks and you just tap with your, I do my index finger and my middle finger. You want to tap pretty vigorously. You might get sick of the word vigorously with me, but you will hear that quite a bit when you're doing energy healing exercises. So this is one. Another one is right on the chin. So you want to tap there. It says the Three Thumps. There's actually more than 3, especially if you look into tapping or into EFT. There's quite a few different tapping points. This next point here, these are the K27 points, and I'm not going to be able to show you exactly where they are, but the way you find your K27 points is by tracing your collarbone all the way to the front where the points of your collarbone almost meet, and just drop your fingers down about an inch and dig around. You should be able to find 2 little soft spots. Those 2 little soft spots, they're called the K27 points, and the reason they're called that is because they are on kidney meridian in position 27. So the K27 points, which you can rub vigorously or tap. And then the Thymus Thump. Thymus is kind of like a rounded bone in the center of your chest. It's between your chest and your throat. You'll find the rounded plate, which you can thump. You can do a Tarzan tap, or you can use your hand, just thump that. One thing that's really nice about the thymus too, I've read that this is supposed to be your energy power source. If you can open your thymus gland up, it's good. It's supposed to help with preventing, or not preventing, it's supposed to provide you with a lot of energy. I don't know how true that is, but I think it is true because I've noticed since I've started working with my thymus, I'm waking up a lot earlier, sleeping later. So it does seem to be helping quite a bit with fatigue levels for me. But I think that varies from person to person. I've unfortunately lost the page to go in the right order, so I'm just going to make sure I go in the order that I do in the morning. So anyway, we've got the Thymus Thump here. One last one that I do not do because I've had problems with back pain, and I've talked to people who've done this exercise and they've told me that it sent them into back spasms. So again, you don't have to stand for this, but the spleen points, which are parallel to your nipples, basically parallel to the nipples, and they're about 1 inch down from the brow line. You can tap there, but if you do it gently. Tap very, very gently on the spleen points. So the spleen tapping points can also help if you want to lose weight. If you have stubborn weight that you just can't seem to lose no matter what you do, You can do the spleen points, and if you're feeling really brave, because this can cause back pain problems too, you can go about an inch out and tap there. But again, if you do those tapping points, tap gently, because if you have back problems, you can cause back pain problems if you tap on those points. So again, do that, use your own judgment. I do not do my spleen points because I'm afraid of sending myself into back spasms, and my mother has sent herself into back spasms doing that, so I don't do that one. Another one that I really like is called Karate Chop, which you can just do on your hands, either side. It's just a good one. This is a nice one too. One thing that's really nice about tapping is if you have a problem with stress, PTSD, anything like that, tapping can be really helpful. One sec. Just as an example, if you're doing tapping, a lot of times people do tapping and they give themselves verbal affirmations while doing it. Again, I don't do mine out loud, but if I do tapping, one other tapping, non-tapping exercise you can do for relieving stress is take one hand, pinch it together, other hand, squeeze the tips of the fingers, and you can just pulse. And you can give yourself affirmations while you're doing this one too. This is really good for relieving stress and or anger. And you can give yourself affirmations while you're doing this. So just for example, affirmations, you can also tap on the edges of the eyebrows and on the top of the head. So if I was going to give myself affirmations, I would be saying things like, say, okay, I know things are really bad right now. This is a really tough time with COVID and being stuck in the house and not being able to go anywhere. I'm so frustrated, but I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm not going to go overboard with this. I'm not going to be too negative. I know with the law of attraction, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to benefit me, and eventually I'm going to get everything that I deserve. My reality is going to be good. I'm happy. I'm living my best life. And I'm expecting really good things to happen. I know good things are going to happen. I know things are going to get better. So I'm not going to let this get to me because I know everything's going to be fine. Also, the law of attraction is on my side. I know that I'm going to get everything that I deserve, that I want. Finances are never going to be a problem for me because I'm going to get what I want and I'm going to get what I need. I am ready to receive abundance. And so on. You can give yourself verbal affirmations, mental affirmations, and do the tapping while you're doing this. Do whatever feels, once again, best to you. What feels most natural to you. And one thing I mentioned is the law of attraction. That's one expression you might hear quite a bit when you get into energy healing. What law of attraction is, it's basically like begets like. If you ever find yourself having one of those days where it just feels like everything is going wrong, or on the flip side, if you have one of those days where it just seems like things are going right and you're not sure why it is, that's the law of attraction at work. The law of attraction basically means, say for example, you're just in a really, really good mood. Everything seems really great and everything's happy and everyone's coming to you. What it means is if you put out positive energy into the world, positive things are going to come to you. And the flip side of that, if you put out negative vibes, negativity is going to come back to you. That's basically what the law of attraction means. So anyway, I'm sorry for digressing so much, but I do want to get back into those other exercises. I am going to put this away because I know what the other exercises are. I'm sorry if this isn't in the same order that this book is in. It doesn't really matter, technically, the order you do these exercises, and what matters the most is that you feel the benefit from them. So I did the thumps. I just want to show you the next one, which is called the cross crawl. I don't do the cross crawl the way it's intended to. The standard for the cross crawl, I'll just stand and show you really quickly, but I don't do it because, I don't know, I just don't really feel like I get anything out of this one, or as much out of this one as I do from the alternate. Sorry, I'm just trying to move this so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. I hope I can get this into frame enough so that you can see what the cross crawl is. The non-alternate version of the cross crawl. Sorry again for all the noise. Just so you know, it's an exaggerated march. You can just do this. I'm bringing my legs up and I'm just lightly tapping my knees with my arms. And that's all it is. It's an exaggerated march. You go from side to side, bring your arms down and up. I'm not going to do this one anymore because, like I said, I like the alternate version. Probably partly because a lot of people I know are on wheelchairs and they can't do that part because it involves standing. So I'll show you my alternate version, which takes the leg work out of it almost completely. This is one that I learned. This is actually the move that got me interested in energy healing in the first place. And once again, you do not have to stand. I'm only standing because I want to show you what I'm doing for purposes of the film. But to do a non-leg work required cross crawl, simple as you start on one shoulder and go off to the hip. Shake your hands out, go to the other side, off the hip, shake the hand out. So again, from one shoulder down to the hip, off the hip, shake, and then down, off the hip, shake. One other version of that I really like is start on one hand, go up your arm to the shoulder, to the other side, and off the hip, shake the hand off, and other shoulder, off to the other side, shake the hand off, and then you can bring your hands together. You can clap, you don't have to clap, and then start again. Up the arm, off the shoulder, off the hip. Hands together, up the arm, across to the hip, shake it off. Rub your hands together, shake them out. That was a repatterning. I believe that is called homolateral energy repatterning. It's a cross crawl because you don't want your energies to be homolateral. They should be crisscross, kind of like the way DNA strands look. They should be crisscross. So doing this is basically redirecting your energies so that they're going in the right direction. And when you do this, you might feel a temperature or a pressure shift. You might not feel it right away. You might feel it a little later on, but hopefully you will feel a shift when you're doing this. Anyway, just to go to the other moves that are part of the daily feel-good energy routine. The next one, we've just done the alternate cross crawl. The next one is the crown pull. Fingers at the center of your forehead. Press in and pull out. Bring your fingers to your temples. And if you have a headache, this is a good spot. This is also, I believe, on triple warmer meridian. So if you're stressed out or you're in pain, anything like that, this is a good place to be. So again, that was the crown pull to the front, out, and then you can start off at the top and you can pull apart. And you don't even have to touch your head. You just want to make sure your fingers are within your range. And by range, it's how far your energy goes out from your body. About 1 to 2 inches should be good. And you just keep coming back down, back of the head, until your fingers get to your shoulders. Once you get to your shoulders, you can stop and then just rub your hands together, shake them out. Rubbing hands together and shaking them out is getting rid of any negative energy we may have accidentally picked up while we were doing the exercises. So that was the crown pull. This next one is another alternate version of something called the Wayne Cook posture. I usually tell people to put arms together and put either left over right arm or right over left. And if you don't know which way to go, easy way to do it is just clasp your hands together and look to see which thumb is on top of the other arm. Which thumb is on top of which thumb. So when I do it, it's probably because I'm left-handed. My left thumb's on top. So since my left thumb's on top, I put my left arm on top of my right arm, and then you just face your palms together and clasp them. And then bend at the elbows and bring your clasped hands to your heart chakra, right on your chest. Hold them here. Take a breath. And then on the out breath, let go. And now steeple your fingers together and bring your thumbs to where your nose joins your face. And hold it there for a moment. Take a breath. And then on the out breath, bring your fingers to the center of your forehead, and we're going to do a crown pull here. So press in, pull apart to the temples. Give yourself a little rub at the temples. You can stop here, or just bring your hands crisscross across your heart. So this is the heart chakra. Hold them at your heart chakra. Take one more breath. And that's all set. So that's the end of the Wayne Cook posture. That's a really, really good one. I'm going to do 2 quick ones now. One is called the zip up. The other one is called the hook up. So once again, you do not have to stand for this, but to do the zip up, you want to put one middle finger right on your belly button. So one middle finger right on your navel. The other middle finger right at your third eye and press in and pull up a little bit with both fingers and just hold it there for a moment. Let's take a breath. This is the hookup, by the way, and what this does is it connects your lower and upper energy bodies. So you just want to hold this just for a moment, and then you can let go. That's the hookup. The zip up, you start at the pubic bone, right here, with your hands together, and you just bring them up your torso all the way up. Just think of it as you are bringing a zipper up. You're zipping up to your lower lip, then go to the edges and make a locking motion. Think of it as you are zipping energy up to your mouth, and then you're locking it in place. So that was the hookup and the zip up. And the very last one I'm going to show you is the lymphatic flush. The lymphatic flush takes a few more steps, but it's a very important one because this will help you rid your body of toxins that build up. I'm going to take one more sip. And again, this is to rid your body of toxins. This is especially good to do in the morning because toxins build up in your body while you sleep in the evening. So this will help your body to release the toxins. Starting at the K27 points. Sorry, I'm just trying to move my top out of the way. But at the K27 points, you want to vigorously massage your K27 points. And then you want to go about an inch out to the edges, right out here. You'll find two more soft spots. These are your governing points. So it's K27 and then governing. And then you want to, I use this part of my knuckles, you want to go down where your arm joins your torso. And again, I'm trying to get this position so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Sorry for this, but just want to make sure you can see every spot. So where your arm joins your torso, you just want to, again, vigorously massage all the way down. Do both sides. Don't be surprised if you hit sore spots when you're doing this. Sore spots correspond to other points in your body that hurt. So now we're going out to the sides of the chest and going in towards the center. Once again, very vigorous massages. If it's sore, Donna Eden always says if it hurts, it means you need it. But if it's really painful and you don't like the way it feels, you don't really have to. So again, so now we're going to go underneath the pecs and go into the center. All the way into the center, then go underneath the rib cage with your fingers, go all the way out to the edges, come back out to the sides, and now massage in vigorously towards the center. Then you want to go about an inch over where your belly button is and start massaging there, then to where the navel is, and then just keep going down, once again, vigorously until you get down to the pubic bone. You can stop at the pubic bone, and then we're going to go out to the hips. Now I'm going to move this again so that you can see, hopefully, so that you can see everything. Sorry again for all the camera noises and everything, but I just want to make sure this is visible to you. So now that we're done, we're at the belly button, going all the way down to the pubic bone. Once we get to the pubic bone, stop and go to your hips. And you might feel some really serious sore spots here. You want to go all the way down until you're about an inch over your knees. And then you want to go on the inside between the legs and down. And again, there's probably sore spots there. These sore spots, once again, correspond to sore spots in other areas of your body. But you want to go all the way down on the inside of the legs to about an inch over the knee. When you get to the inch over the knee on the inside of the legs, you can stop and then just rub your hands together and shake them out. And there we go. I believe that was everything. Let me just double check my little Bible here to make sure I've covered every single exercise. I want to make sure I haven't left anything out. I believe that was all of them, but let me just make sure. So we did the 3 thumps, the cross crawl, the Wayne Cook posture, crown pull, lymphatic massage, zip up, and hook up. And as I said, one of the things I've added to this is the traditional Chinese headache points on the very back at the base of the skull, because I tend to be very headache prone, so I do throw this in. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole thing. I hope that was very helpful for you, and please feel free to share that with anyone that you think it might help. Once again, thank you so much for listening to me babble. I really do appreciate that you took the time to do this. I know your time is very important to you, so I am going to let you go. But I did want to thank you once again. I wish you the best of luck. I hope you can live your best life. I hope this helps you. Thank you once again. Namaste. Peace and light. Best of luck to you. Be well. Cheers.